Ciao and buongiorno. It is someone's birthday, someone really, really special. And when I asked what would you like me to bake you, she said, surprise me. Now that is a really, really dangerous thing to say to Tortellino. So I've decided to make a birthday cake, which will be a tiramisu, but it will be strawberries and raspberries tiramisu, and without eggs. I'll be using a combination of frozen and fresh fruit today, but in front of me I've got some frozen raspberries and some fresh strawberries, which I have chopped in small pieces. Large enough saucepan, and the strawberries go in, and also my frozen raspberries. And some sugar. This is granulated sugar. I moved to the hob and I'm mixing everything together. I've got the hob on maximum temperature, and I'm going to be taking everything to the boil now. As soon as everything boils, turn the temperature down still on a medium to high setting, and let it boil for another 5 to 6 minutes. Perfect, 6 minutes on, and I think I'm done and I'm ready. And you can see what a lovely vibrant color, and quite a nice liquid as well. The next job is to filter this lovely sauce. I've got a sieve here. I'll be adding half to start with. And with the help of a spatula, I'll separate the sauce from the fruit. I'll move the fruit in a separate bowl, and I'll do the rest. And job done. Lovely and radiant color sauce, and lovely and radiant color fruit. That's really nice. I'll put this on one side to cool down, and I'll crack on with the fruit. Hand blender, and I'm going to be blending this into a mush now. That is wonderful, absolutely perfect. This cream I've just made, I will be mixing it with the mascarpone and with some double cream, but it's still too hot, and clearly I cannot mix it yet. So I'm going to put it on one side to cool down as well. In the meantime, I will crack on with the creative part of the tiramisu. To make a good tiramisu, you will need sponge fingers, or sometimes they are referred to as ladyfingers. And here they are. They are very light biscuits. They are Italian biscuits, incredibly light. They are coated in sugar and normal biscuits underneath. And this is a box. I will likely to be using 2 boxes, but they are in most supermarkets. If you cannot find them in the little one, you will definitely find them in the larger ones. My plan is to make the tiramisu very, very good looking and also very pretty. And I'm actually halving the sponge fingers, but I'm finding that I tried it with a bread knife and it was a little bit too big, and they were splitting because these are quite small. So I'm actually finding that using a normal steak knife is the best approach. So very gently, take your time, do not rush, otherwise you'll break them. You might break the odd one, doesn't matter, you will need the odd broken one. Just gently apply some pressure and go through it until you will find that it will cut nicely. There. So make effectively wedges. If you get hold of larger biscuits, you find that most probably this job is considerably easier. But this is what I bought now, so I'm stuck with them. Nice and easy, very gently. Take your time, no rush. There you go, job done. And using the stand where the cake is going to be, I'm going to position all of my wedges in a circle now, like this. So I finished with the big circle on the outside, and I'm now starting by filling the inside bit. The inside bit is not so critical because you will not be able to see it. But it is important, obviously, that we put biscuits inside. Of course, if you're able to get hold of the longer biscuits, you might not need to do this on the inside, but I didn't. But that'll be perfectly good enough. And as I mentioned to you before, any broken bits, just use them to fill in the gaps. There. And once you're finished with the larger gaps, just use some of your broken biscuits to ensure that you cover as much as possible with biscuits. There, job done. As Julie often says, a blind man will be pleased to see it. And back to our sauce. So I've got a glass with some lukewarm water, and I'm going to be adding a little sugar, again, normal sugar, and a tiny little amount of vanilla extract. Mix it together until the sugar has more or less totally dissolved. And I'm going to be adding it to the sauce which we filtered earlier. And I'm ready to move on to the filling, the preparation of the cream. Double cream. This is fresh double cream. And I'm going to be mixing now with the food mixer. Wonderful, that's perfect. Ensure you do not over mix it, otherwise it'll become very, very hard. I'm adding some mascarpone next. I did mention it's a big cake. And some icing sugar. Initially, I will fold it with my spatula so that I do not make a mess with the icing sugar. And I'll finish it with the food mixer. Wonderful, that's perfect. And then do not worry if it's a bit thick. That's exactly what I am looking for. That is because I will now be adding the fruit which I blended earlier. Add the fruit, not the juice. Don't get it the wrong way around. And in it goes, and this will make the paste considerably lighter as well, so not so thick. We'll mix it one more time. And that is it, job done, lovely colour, enough for the cream to absorb all of the wonderful flavour from the strawberries and the raspberry. And I'm gonna be testing a little. It's good. So back to my cake, and I'm now using a spoon to spread some of the sauce which we made earlier. It's cooled down, but there's still a lot of smell coming up, and it is actually quite sweet and almost like a syrup. I've put some of the cream in a piping bag here, and a little tip, actually it's not my tip, it's Julie's tip. If you have one of those clips like this, put it at the end and it will not escape. Something less for you to worry about. And patiently start applying the cream on top of your biscuits. And that is the first layer completed, looking beautiful already. And having completed the first layer, the next layer is easy actually, because you can use the base as a template. And instead of using the spoon, I'm actually using the traditional way to make the tiramisu. So I'm dipping the biscuits in my sauce and positioning them to follow the pattern from the base. And I've just reached the final layer, and I'm going to be spreading my cream on top flat first. And with the help of a palette knife, I'm making it as smooth as I can. There, I think it's pretty good. And we are on the home stretch now, so I'll do some nice splodges of cream. And literally, I've reached the very end of my cream, which is just as well as I've only got need for one more in the very middle. Nearly there now, and as I said earlier, the finishing touches is what always make a difference. So I'm going to be putting some raspberries on top of my little mountains, so to say. 3, 4, and 5. I've also got some beautiful English strawberries, which I have cut in half, and I'm now going round. And I decided to keep the stem on, as it looks really beautiful, the green with the red. And as it is a strawberries and raspberries tiramisu, I will finish with a few more raspberries around the edges. I think she's gonna like it. She's definitely worth it. A bit fiddly, very fiddly, but I think she's worth it. So she's been outside gardening all day and left me here pretty much to my own device. I'm gonna get her to see what she thinks, because I won't be able to taste it today, as actually we're gonna be eating it tomorrow when the family come round. So stay with me. So I went and got her under duress. She said, "Oh, my hair is a mess. She's been gardening."
No makeup
No
in here,
makeup.
thank God.
Anyway, she's agreed to come in, and I've got her here. She hasn't seen it. She's got her eyes shut. So there you go, Julie. You can open your eyes.
I like to look.
You're good to look.
Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, is it
There you
tiramisu
go.
cake?
It is indeed, yes.
Oh, wow. That does look beautiful. You've outdone yourself, haven't you?
Well,
Done,
I did tell you, you leave me on my own. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, we won't be able to test this for tomorrow, so that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you make it, let me know how you get on. Clearly, hasn't got to look like this, but if it does, even better. Ciao, ciao. See you later. Thank you. Bye.
It does look super well done.